Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today I'll be taking a look at my favourite deals across the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australian eShops. Now here with this video it is any price goes, so do check out my Thursday edition where I keep everything sub $10 or your local currency if you're looking for those, more budget options. Then as always I do have my weekly giveaway, 2 $10 eShop gift cards, so winners they'll be announced as we go through this video today, and then to enter for a chance to win in next week's video, simple as always, just drop a comment down below. With that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So before we do start today, I just quickly want to say thank you all so much. We're so very close to 20,000 subscribers. The support in 2020 was absolutely crazy to me and I really truly do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you all so much. With that though, I got 20 games for you today. Most are going to be available everywhere, but the UK, EU, Australia, they're just edging out the rest with a few New Year's exclusives. So first up, let's go big. This is Crysis Remastered. It has a new all-time low of 40% off and I featured it in my top first-person shooters on the Switch with good reason. It's an incredible port. It was the age-old question, can it run Crysis? And in 2020 that question was answered, and for the most part it does a fantastic job. Docked and handheld when it comes to performance. Then the shooting is strong as ever, the story, that alien invaders, all that good stuff, as cheesy as always. But this game, shooter fans, absolute must buy. Strategy fans, XCOM 2, it comes in with a new all-time low of 60% off. This one I featured it on my top games of 2020 list, and you're going to be hearing that a lot today. Out of all the 2K releases, think Bioshock, Borderlands, to me this was the one that shouldn't work. It's not exactly famous for its performance on high-end PCs. Somehow they got it on Switch and I think it is solid. Yes, it has stutters and frame rate issues at times, no question about it, but it's a demanding game. It doesn't particularly impact gameplay either, given its turn-based strategy. It's not like a first-person shooter. Also, it's a compromise I'm okay with, to have just XCOM in the palm of my hands. That is a sentence I never thought I would get to say. So another one from my top games of 2020 then, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. They just absolutely do the game justice, and I'd say it is now pretty much a classic in the racing genre. Don't think heavy customization or realistic sim though, it's arcade through and through and just a whole lot of carnage thanks to its burnout roots. Most importantly though, and what got it on my top games list, the fact it has online crossplay, so finding races online, never a concern. I checked it out again today. I was playing against other consoles as well as PC users. 50% off right now. Just know in the US the deal does expire on January 4th, but it's running to the 11th in the UK, EU and Australia, so you do have just a tiny bit more time there. This one will no doubt be controversial, but I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people made it out to be. Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. It's a conversion of a VR game to Switch. It for sure of course loses some of that immersion while also making some of the minigames kind of a pain in the ass and pointless, but I wanted to mention it because look, if you do like Freddy, you will no doubt find something to enjoy here as well. It's basically taking a load of old classic levels, redoing them and then throwing in some minigames, plus 50% off. It's a relatively steep discount. Also the main factor, looking at Metacritic as well, there's a big jump between critic score and user score, which tells me one thing. For the most part, fans thought it was pretty decent. Let's do a collection of games now. Rebellion, they have put the entire Sniper collection on sale with varying levels of discount. The idea here really is get a target, enter a sandbox location, work your way towards said target and pop their head off, which is kind of displayed to you in this glorious X-ray vision, which is absolutely brutal. What makes them unique though, they can be as simple or difficult as you want thanks to things like bullet velocity, distance, wind, all becoming a factor. It's very cool stuff. Fee 2 and 3 though, they are 66% off. The second, kind of traditional World War II, think go after Hitler. The third, it keeps the time period but takes the action to Africa. The prices above that is for each individually, not for both. I wish that was the case. And then the fourth, that's the most recent release, so that discount not quite as steep, 25%. It's still decent, and here we're on a mission to liberate Italy. All three games though look great fun. As I said, famous for that X-ray mechanic. You'll see the bullets passing through the bodies. It's absolutely brutal, but it's also seriously exciting. My personal favourite, it's gotta be that second entry, but if you play them all, you're gonna definitely see improvements as you move from one to the next. Finally, from Rebellion then as well, they took things way out there with the Zombie Army Trilogy. Fed up with that more realistic approach, you probably should look here because you're going to find the same gameplay formula, but instead you'll be taking down zombies. This one's only stumble, I gotta say, it relies a little more on close quarters combat, and the series, it's not particularly fine-tuned for that or famous for it. Still a great time though, and given the fact it is a trilogy of games, you're getting a lot of game for your cash here, and it's currently offering 50% off. Before our first winner then, let's talk 3 deals exclusive to the UK and EU. We'll keep it quick. Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 and Luigi's Mansion 3 all on sale. Not all-time lows, it's the usual Nintendo 33% off, but all 3 games absolutely worth full price, never mind a discount. Not in the US or Australia yet, but hopefully we'll see them added later in the week. So the first winner of the week then, it's going to Jimboy Orbe, who pointed out they are finally jumping on Hades. Congrats Jimboy, drop me an email to claim that code. Everyone else, I do still have a second winner coming up later in the video, but of course first, let's take a look at just a few more games. Okay, so let's do my pickups of the week then. Can't necessarily recommend them, never really played them, but I hear great things about them, so maybe you'll want to join me for the ride. This week I've grabbed 2, and the first, it's Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection. This one's going to be for you retro fans out there. It's a series that started back in 1993, and yeah, this bundle, it's basically 7 1v1 fighters, as well as a museum mode that has like 2,000 documents, and then a 200 track music player, so 50% off seems absolutely fair to me. My second pickup then, Samurai Showdown. This was released earlier in 2020, and it brought the series to the current gen of consoles. It promises a deep learning AI system, and of course then all of the classic characters. Throw into the mix then, it has a story mode that's set 1 year after the first game in the series, and I'm looking forward to finally jumping back in. I will say I have played this one quite a bit before, and I am a big fan. Also, I'm doing a few fight stick reviews right now for the channel, so these 2 games, they definitely come in useful. With 40% off though on this most recent release, it's still not cheap, but it is the lowest price we've ever seen. Another UK EU exclusive now, but the mighty Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age. It hits a new all-time low with 50% off. Probably one of the best RPGs available on the Switch. It gets a must-buy rating from me just easily. As you set out to protect the land though, expect a ton of characters to meet, a huge world to explore. Of course, it's just like epic overstory, and then there's more quests, side quests and customization than you can ever imagine. You will easily sink over 100 hours into this one and get your money's worth. My favorite bit though of all of this is this game, you can jump into a 2D build of the world when you meet specific creatures, and that is a very cool throwback. Sad not to see this one in the US, Canada or Australia yet, but with this new all-time low, it had to be mentioned. If you can't take advantage of this offer, maybe consider Ys 8 Lacrimosa Adana. It's not as good as Dragon Quest XI, let me put that out there now. From this one, it switches out turn-based combat for a more action-orientated, real-time like sort of experience. A lot of grinding with this one at points, but I just love the series, and with the 9th finally hitting and due in 2021, it may be a good time to spend some time with this series and see if it's going to be one for you. Don't worry too much about the 8 in the title here either. This can absolutely be played with no prior knowledge of the series, as it is a standalone story set around the idea you wash up ashore at a mysterious island. There's a few maybe minor references, but nothing that would hold you back. We've seen this 60% off though in the US and Canada before, but it is a new all-time low for those of you in the UK, EU and Australia. So I mentioned Mario Kart earlier, a more widely available deal now, Crash Team Racing NITRO-FUELED. Really like this entry personally. It's by far, or at least in my opinion, the most challenging on the Nintendo Switch in regards to kart racers, mainly thanks to its drift system that's gonna take some practice, but stick with it and you will find a very good racer here with a great cast of characters, and it just nails and delivers on what you would expect of the genre. Just think all out there, like levels, karts, it's really good stuff. If you buy physically, you do occasionally see it cheaper than this price, but the main reason I wanted to mention it today, if you are a Nintendo Switch Online member, it currently has a free trial right now that runs through to the 5th of January, so you can try it before you buy it, and it is also a new all-time low for digital with 53% off. Check out that trial though, see what you think. I do love try before you buy kind of options. Before our second winner then, two more UK EU exclusives. I warned you, they got some great deals this week. These might be my personal favourites, but the Metro series, it's on sale with a new all-time low of 55% off. The price above is each, not for both, but this is another one that featured in my top 10 games of 2020. Incredible first-person shooters, but they also put a heavy focus on story, as well as then moments of horror and stealth. The idea to survive a post-apocalyptic world where the human population has been relegated to living in the subway system in Moscow, thanks to a whole lot of like mutants and good stuff like that. The first game's more claustrophobic, while the second thinks small, almost sandbox locations, or at least more of them. But you can't go wrong with either, as this is some of my favourite port work on the Nintendo Switch right now. So our second winner of the week then, and then we'll get to our last two games, but this code it's going to Jonas Schultz, who grabbed the mighty Ion Fury, a great throwback shooter for those out there who like their retro, or they grew up on games like think Duke Nukem like myself. Drop me an email though, Jonas, and everyone else, remember to drop that comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. So with that, our penultimate game of the week, Immortals Fenyx Rising. It's another one again from my top 10 list of 2020. And I mean, like, the comments of Breath of the Wild meets Assassin's Creed, they're not wrong. But I will say it manages to carve out its own identity thanks to its basically mythical setting and then the solid story. The story is nothing you haven't seen before, but it's elevated by some really great voice acting. I had a blast with this one though, and I think Ubisoft, they did really good. The sale on this one, just know eShop wise only in the UK and EU with its current 50% off, but above for the US, Canada and Australia, I've added stores where you can pick this one up physically for that very same discount. Absolutely worth your time, and I love the fact then it features cross saves and progression. It's always a nice touch. The final game of the week then, and this nearly got in that top 10, it slipped my mind honestly, so consider it number 11, but Rivals of Aether. This game is incredible and I have a review here on the channel, but consider it a pixel style love letter to the Smash series, but it just does it in the right way with mechanics that are, easy to pick up but difficult to master, a decent story mode for each of the original cast, and then a solid cast of characters that even features Shovel Knight and Ori. This is basically the game, the disaster that is Bounty Battle wanted to be. What I did hear some reports of online issues, think slowdown, stuff like that. I checked it out today and it seemed absolutely fine to me. Plus I was actually able to find a match within maybe a few minutes. Always a good sign given the Nintendo Switch's, let's say, track record with online play and games being nearly empty immediately like the day after release. So yeah, I'll link my full review on this one right above here if you want to know more, but it's absolutely worth a look for you fighter fans. And that's it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to your collection this week, or are you still recovering from those, Black Friday and Christmas sales? I know that I've absolutely been feeling it myself, but I couldn't resist the 2 Samurai Showdown entries. With that though, look, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.